In this video, we're going to be going over the side view and the 3/4 view whenever you're drawing a face. I kind of already touched this in previous videos with the drawings of King Elefante, which I'll probably finish up in this video, but, you know, for the most part, I'm going to be focusing on the pages of the ebook, so let's get to it. This is how you draw a side view of a head. Obviously, it's very simplistic, and I broke it down into 6 easy steps, so hopefully this makes sense. But you're going to draw the circle, and then you're going to draw a shape under the circle connecting to the middle of the circle. So, I mean, obviously, this isn't like truly in the middle, but like it's middle enough. If it was a little bit slightly over, it probably would be a little better, to be honest, but whatever. After you do that, you're going to add an oval inside of the circle, the original circle that you drew, and make sure that it touches where the bottom shape touches. This is where your ear is going to be. So if I was looking on this side, this is basically the jawline of the shape of the head that I'm drawing, and this is where the oval would be. And yeah, so hopefully, you know, you're understanding what I'm trying to say. And then you're going to add the facial features based off of the guidelines that you draw. Like I said in the previous video, the guidelines are going to be based off of wherever your ear is placed. Now, that's not always the case, and it's not a definitive you need to do this in order to, add facial features, but that's generally speaking how I do it, and I think that it would help you if you try to use those guidelines as well. Step 5, you basically outline the shapes that you just drew, and you make them look like a person's head. And then in step 6, erase all the underlying shapes. And voila, there you go. Now, if you vary up, excuse me, I just finished my burp juice, and it was delicious, but it's making me burp, so I apologize. But anyway, if you change the size and the variations of, if you change the shape and make them different sizes and, vary it up, you can drastically change a person's, head shape. And again, I think that you should just have fun with it. You should try to see what works best for the character that you're trying to draw. Think to yourself, how can I make this character stand out more? How can I make them look cool or, wonky or, whatever the case may be? And then, draw them constantly. And whenever you draw them constantly to practice what they're going to look like, also draw them from the side. And because you're going to need to draw them from the side at some point, I mean, if you're drawing a comic anyway. And even if you're not, you're probably still going to want to know how to do that. So draw them from all different angles. This is, this is one angle, the side view. Another angle would be the 3/4 view. Now, I also broke this down into 6 steps. First one, draw a circle. Second one, you're going to draw a face shape on the side of the circle. Now, this can vary depending on the type of shapes that you have, which I'll have in the next slide. But after that, you're going to draw a smaller oval closer to the opposite end of the circle that you originally drew. So whatever side the face is on, you're going to draw the ear on the opposite side. After that, you're going to, lay out the guidelines where the facial features will be. Then you add the facial features, making sure that the eyes, they're touching that top line. Then you have the nose that's going to be in towards the middle. The mouth, we haven't gotten into that too much. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the next video, but, we're going to have all these facial features on the face, and yeah, after that, you're going to just erase all the guidelines, and, voila, there you go. 3/4 view. To be honest with you, we could push this even more. We can have the eyes even further to the side, like even, more so to this side. And I'll probably redraw this whenever I, go to King Elefante after all of this. But, yeah, I mean, this is basically what you do. Now, like I said, you can, draw different shapes and sizes to create different character, designs for the head. This is a very long chin, a very sharp chin. This you can vary it up. It's all about taking different shapes that you personally want to draw and making them work for you. And speaking of which, King Elefante, he is a square head. So we're going to show you, this is the 3/4 view right here. If I was going to push this even more, let's say I do the circle right here, and I want to have his head even more so to the side. All right, then draw the lines. Okay, so now that I have that, and as you can see, I'm using the same techniques that I just showed you. I drew the circle, then I drew the head shape, which is a different type of head shape. It's more square. I drew the oval on the other side of that original circle. And now it is time to outline the entire thing. Actually, hold on. This is how his face goes. Then you add the ear. Add some shadow, maybe. All right, now we're going to draw the nose so we know, hey, this is where his nose is supposed to be, which it should probably be a little higher because his eyes are going to be touching that top line. Now, this is the difficult part, but just go slow and use Control Z. You can do anything. All right. Now, this is obviously a lot more exaggerated than I normally use, or I normally do. If I was going to redraw him, I would probably make his chin slightly smaller. And this is another part of the process. It's never going to look perfect the first time you do it, so just be okay with erasing. Saying, hey, you know, I did all the steps and it still doesn't look good. Like, I mean, you know, then do it again. Like, that's fine. Like, you can do that. Now, there's a lot more features for King Elefante. I really just want to add eyebrows. He also has a scar. But whatever, I'm just going to Control Z those. So, all right, so there you go. As you can see, this is a little bit more to the side. It's kind of like in the middle between these two right here. How I just did that is how I want you to draw your 3/4 view. I don't want you to overthink it. I want you to have fun. I want you to be okay with erasing. I want you to be okay with realizing that it doesn't look exactly the way you want it to look and still having the confidence to say, you know what, I can go back and make this better. And to be honest with you, I could make that look a lot better. I could keep on going until I perfect it. But I mean, you know, I also think, to be honest with you, it looks good enough for this demonstration. So that's why I'm moving on to the next thing. But I really genuinely hope that learning how to break them down into shapes helps you. You know, if you can break it down into shapes and do one thing at a time, it kind of lessens the stress of it all. It's not too impossible. It's not too impossible. It's very probable. It's very, you know, easy to replicate. And, you know, that's what I'm hoping for you when you're watching this video. I really hope that you just take all of this and realize that, yeah, it's just basically shapes. All you got to do is just draw shapes and then keep on drawing over those shapes, and then voila, there you go. Don't overthink this. It's just drawing. It's supposed to be fun. So I hope you're having fun. Stay tuned for the next video.